Guess who's back?
Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to get into the big Patrick Mahomes contract extension that he was just signed with the Chiefs, and of course how that relates to Dak Prescott, who as Cowboys fans we are holding our breath and trying to see what the future stores with that. But before we get into that, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button right here. If you like NFL content and Dallas Cowboys content, that is what we pump out, and hopefully we'll be having a season to talk about soon. But for the time being, all we can talk about right now is contracts and Patrick Mahomes. So he signs a 10-year mega monster contract with the Chiefs to stay with them all the way until 2031. A 10-year, $503 million deal. The first reported number was $450 million, but with some kind of bonuses and things like that, he could earn up to $503 million. Needless to say, this is a monster deal. The next closest quarterback deal was, I believe, $145 million. It shatters everything. But first, what were your first thoughts whenever you saw this news, RJ?
My first thoughts were it's 50-50. It's either going to be a really bad thing or a good thing as far as the Dak deal goes, because I think I talked about it on this channel before as far as a contract. When we were talking about a contract for Dak, it's either, I was like, man, this has to be a percentage of the cap space, and if it is, that's going to be really bad for Dallas, and if it's not, then that's kind of a good thing, because as I'm looking at the numbers right here, it is really spread out, and you go, as long as the main numbers you always want to look at is the cap hit throughout the years. And as far as I see, it's not $42 million until 2023.
It's pretty backloaded, the whole deal. We'll break it down a little bit more. But my first thoughts, I'm a fan of Patrick Mahomes. I own his jersey. I mean, I was just a fan of the guy. If there was one other quarterback in the entire NFL that I want for my team, it'd be him, and that'd probably be the end of the list, to be honest with you. Call that homerism or what have you, but that's the list. But anyway, I thought it was very, very smart on the Chiefs' part, more than Mahomes' part, because yes, he's got this monster massive deal, but once the TV dollars kick in, and they probably won't kick in until 2022 because of the pandemic, but once they kick in, I mean, we were talking about this contract where he could be the $60 million per year man, which, and in one of the back years, he gets pretty damn close. I believe it's $59 million is going to be the hit once, I believe, in 2027. But I think it's an extreme value for the Chiefs. And then for Patrick Mahomes' side, I mean, he gets to stay with a team that obviously he's grown to love, and he's guaranteed a huge amount of money for the foreseeable future. How this relates to Dak, though, I mean, like RJ said, you could look at it one of two ways. Really, this contract wasn't the one that I was looking at down the barrel of. This, so we already have a floor, right? The floor was set. Russell Wilson, he's $35 million per year, the highest average, or was before this contract. That was the floor. And then, of course, we've talked about Goff and Wentz, who are the more comparable quarterbacks, the same class to Dak. Whatever, however you want to compare them, whatever. But their average per year was at 32 and 33.5 million, and then guarantees were around 102, 100, and then Goff was 110 million. So those are the numbers that we were always looking, okay, they're going to have to exceed that, and then the way that quarterback contracts go, they're going to have to exceed that average per year. So once Mahomes signed, I was like, okay, so this is going to be the ceiling. So you have your floor, now your ceiling is going to be $45 million per year. You're going to fall somewhere in there. But even whenever you look at the full breakdown, Mahomes' deal, he won't even count, I believe, over $30 million to the cap until 2023. Yeah. The way they broke it down. And whenever I say backloaded, I mean, I said close to 60 million. There's going to be a year here where he's going to be counting $59 million towards the cap. And then on the very last 2 years, 50 and 52 million towards the cap. I mean, it's going to be massive. But
by then, the cap space will probably already be closer.
Some are predicting by then maybe it'll double.
Yeah.
So it could be an extreme value for the team, and And honestly, it could be a point where Mahomes may want to restructure his contract. Who knows? I mean, getting that far down the line, I mean, that's a long time. Nobody's ever signed a decade long.
I kind of see this as a deal like 60-40 and 60 in favor of the team.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Because, I mean, the next closest guy that you want to compare, I guess the potential of a quarterback would be Lamar Jackson, right? He was the MVP. Obviously, he doesn't have the cannon of an arm like Mahomes, but he has all those other things, the intangibles. Obviously, he was a league MVP. He'll be the next guy to potentially get some kind of ginormous record-shattering deal like Mahomes if he continues on the trend that he started last year. But, I mean, is this going to be the, I guess the foundation or the framework for a deal like that? Is this going to actually be the new type of deal that people are looking for? I don't really think so. I think it was just a matter of the Chiefs coming to a player that they want to invest in for the long term, and a player working with them on their end and just saying, let's get it done, So people can look at it as 50-50, but honestly, it's more like 60, let's say 60-40 towards in favor of the team. But like we said, both players did meet in the middle. Yeah. So getting back to relating this to Dak, so like you said, the floor is 35, the ceiling is 45. So and another good thing about this, I would say this is more in favor of Dak still. I mean, I don't think this moved the needle too much. To me, it doesn't move the needle that much. Now, if Deshaun Watson signs a deal before Dak, that's going to change everything.
That's bad.
Because let's be real here. I said the only one quarterback that I would take over our quarterback right now is Mahomes, right? Everybody knows Mahomes is it. Yeah. He's the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Whenever you start comparing quarterbacks, the two guys or that group of guys that you start comparing, some people might have them a little bit ahead of Dak, or some people have them behind him. I have Dak ahead of Watson, but they are very, very close as far as the skill level and as far as their quarterback play that they display on the field. So if a guy like Watson gets his deal done before Dak and it's in excess of $40 million per year or at $40 million, then that's going to be the new benchmark for Dak and his agents. Right now, the benchmark is around $37 million with maybe $120 million guaranteed.
I've always said just give him a 37.5 fully guaranteed. Because if you don't, the fully guaranteed next year is
$37 million.
Yeah.
$37.1 million will be his cap hit if they decide to franchise tag him, if they don't agree to a long-term deal this year. And obviously, they would have to go a whole other year of not agreeing to a long-term deal. The cap hit would be $37 million. And that's the way I kind of look at it. Whether they agree to a long-term deal or not, Dak's going to cost you $37 million next year. He's going to cost somebody $37 million this year. So that's really my prediction. They're going to meet in the middle, or at least I hope they will. It's going to be a 5-year deal, 37 or 37.5 million per year with 120 million guaranteed. That'll be 10 million over what was guaranteed to Goff. I believe Mahomes' actual guarantees, straight up guarantees, are only 63 million in this contract. I believe it goes up to 140 million. And then he could get so much more because every year after I believe the first 3 years is a roster bonus. So if you're on the roster when training camp starts, I believe it kicks into that 30 million. So I mean, the Chiefs and Mahomes both expect for him to be the quarterback for these next 10 years, maybe a little less, but so those should be kicking in. So really, Dak's number is set, I think, unless Watson gets signed.
This is another one other level of a deal. I feel like if anything, it kind of it's really as far as your own perspective, but in my eyes, this was really just right in the middle as far as look, Dak, Mahomes met in the middle with them and he was able to sign a team-friendly deal, even though I said like it was a little 60-40, I think, towards the team. But they worked it out, they worked together, and Mahomes is going to get what he wants, and he signed. I've always said, too, I honestly would want Dallas to offer him like a 7 or 8 year deal. But obviously he doesn't want that, and his counterparts, like Mahomes, Wilson, Rodgers, and them have signed a four-year deal, because like we've said, the salary cap is going to increase and the TV deals are soon coming to an end, so that's going to give you an opportunity to re-up and put yourself out there again as far as being able to capitalize on the most amount of money that you can make throughout your career.
Renegotiating whenever the time comes. So really, I think in the long run, how does this affect Dak? Not really that much.
No.
I think all it does is really it looks a little bit bad on the Cowboys, because a team like the Chiefs, they approach their quarterback early and get it done whenever they believe that that's their franchise guy, and the Cowboys have pushed this off for almost a year and a half now. Where you stand on Dak or not, I think they should sign him, but it also shows that relationship between the team and the player. One gave in a little bit one way and one gave in another way. So for the Cowboys and Dak to meet in the middle, he's going to have to set that new, or be in the middle of that new benchmark as far as average per year. And if he gets that, then maybe he'll sign that 5-year, which is what the whole big thing. So the stories have been coming out that Dak wants a 4-year and the Cowboys want a 5-year. It's a 1-year difference. So I believe meeting in the middle is going up on the money, because the last rumor was around $35.5 million or $34.5 million. So either just above or below Russell Wilson's average per year, and then 5 years. You're going to have to go up on the money, and then he'll go up on the years. And I think that's where they meet in the middle. Of course, guarantees have to be there too, above what Goff was guaranteed. And that's kind of how it'll pan out. The last question that I have for RJ, and I'll answer it myself, is RJ, you said it before the video started, we're exactly 1 week away from July 15th, which is the deadline for the Cowboys to sign Dak for a long-term deal. After that date, they cannot negotiate a long-term contract with Dak until the following season of free agency. So, or franchise tag him again. So, what is your prediction? Do you think the Cowboys and Dak will get a deal done by July 15th?
Man, dude, I can't say that I'm very confident that honestly that they will, but I'm hopeful that they are. I honestly put it like 55-45. 55 they don't.
55 they don't. Okay, so I'm going to lean more. I'm actually going to say that they will. I'm going to say 70-30. 70% that they will get a deal done. While I don't think this affects the numbers for Dak that much, I think it does affect as the landscape of getting deals done. And I think that Jerry Jones is an emotional person. If he sees that this got all this publicity and another team is making their commitment to the quarterback and they have this strong belief, this confidence in their team, I think that might be the little kicker to get Jerry to just say, you know what, I'm going to stick to my guns and we're going to ride this out, and we're going to sign Dak, and this is going to be it. He wants to be on the same level as a Super Bowl champion type team, and hopefully that's what they're working towards. I think they get a deal done. I don't think this has ever been about greed. Obviously, Dak signed his franchise tag early so he could participate in whatever form of training camp they're going to have when that does start. So I think that Dak wants to get a deal done, and I think the Cowboys, after this deal, are going to be a little bit more motivated to get a deal done. And if it doesn't happen, well, I'm just going to be pissed. But
I'll be really mad.
I'll be pissed, but in like from the very beginning, I've been saying I'm on Dak's side in this deal, and I'm confident, and I've said this since his career started. He has never given me any reason to doubt him, and I'm gonna believe that he's gonna go out there and he's gonna make his value even more, worth even more, and that $37 million is gonna be pennies.
I said last year when I went to training camp and I saw him drastic improvements and everything. I said, this guy's gonna have the best year of his career. I drafted him in fantasy in the 6th round, and I said, I even made a bet with my friend that he would have a total of, I want to say, I can't remember if it was like 36 to 37 total touchdowns and stuff. And he was right there. I think he was like 2 away. And I felt like last year I said, man, you really need to pay him right now.
Yeah. And so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for some big good news in a week from now, because who knows, we may not even have a football season, but that would at least be some kind of positivity going into whenever the next football game is played. But I think that pretty much wraps up this video. We appreciate you joining us and watching this video. If you like NFL and Cowboys content, please subscribe to the channel. We try and post videos once a week. So if you have not, subscribe now, and we appreciate you watching. See you next time.
Yo, I ain't here for the money.